this is Genial Gamer Gal here with a bit of a different video. I'm going to do a video on Fallout 76, the meh, the bad, and the awful. Now, I do play some PC games from time to time, the Fallout series being my favorite. I've played Fallout 3 and Fallout 4, so when Fallout 76 came out, I decided to pick it up. My husband and I each have a copy, and we do like to play it together if we actually get to play it sometimes, but we'll get into that later. Alright, without further ado, let's get into this video about Fallout 76. If you are not familiar with Fallout 76, it is an open world RPG and it is post-apocalyptic survival. So pretty much the world got nuked and you are in this world after it has happened, about 25 years to be exact in this game, because it is a prequel to the other Fallout games. Now this Fallout game is different because it is actually online multiplayer. This is the first online multiplayer Fallout game. The other Fallout games are single player. This Fallout 76 game takes place in West Virginia, and your starting point is in Vault 76, hence the title of the game. You are now able to team up in this game and take down enemies. Alright, next we are going to get into the meh, the bad, and the awful about this game. Let's start with the meh. First, Fallout 76 feels a bit like Fallout 4 Online. It feels like they just took Fallout 4 and plunked it onto a server, added some color to it, and there you go. I don't feel there's anything really too much to separate it from Fallout 4 other than it is online multiplayer, but basically the same concepts from Fallout 76 are from Fallout 4. The graphics in this game I put under meh. I haven't had too much trouble with the graphics. However, they did say the lighting technology was going to be better, 16 times the detail, and I don't really see it, honestly. It still feels like Fallout 4 graphics to me. Even some of the god rays in there can get a bit annoying and seem a bit off. Some of the shadows are a bit off sometimes. So honestly, I don't see the special graphics and super detail in this, which is why I think it's meh. Next, the quests in this game are a bit redundant. It's kind of go here and kill this, go here and find this, and I don't feel like these quests have anything new to bring to the table. It's pretty much the same thing over and over and over, unfortunately. This is an online multiplayer game, however, I feel that there are not enough players on the server. I know they said they're only putting about 24 players per server, and this map is gigantic. It's even bigger than Fallout 4, and I hardly run into anyone. Some of you playing solo don't mind this, but the purpose of Fallout 76 is an online multiplayer, and I think the cap just needs to be bumped up a little bit so that people that actually do want to play on a team can actually do that. And the final thing I want to note in the meh category is PvP. PvP is pretty much you shoot your opponent, and then if they want to PvP, they will shoot you back. So you can just stand there and shoot them and shoot them and shoot them, and until they retaliate, you don't PvP, which is a bit strange. Honestly, I don't really care about the PvP aspect of this game. That is not what I purchased it for. I purchased it for the online multiplayer and teaming up with other players in order to play the Fallout game. So PvP, I can live without it, honestly. Moving on to the bad. If you are not aware, Bethesda is nicknamed Bugthesda, and rightly so, because there are so many bugs in Fallout 76, it is almost unplayable. Even worse than Fallout 4. Fallout 4 had bugs, modders patched them, but Fallout 76 cannot be patched by modders, so we have to sit and wait for these bug fixes. Now here is the bad. The camp blueprints. If you save your camp in your blueprint and then you decide to move your camp, I have found that it is very difficult to reset that blueprint in a different area because of a ladder. So if you set a ladder down for a previous location that models that hill or whatever it is, and you try to set it down on another area that probably doesn't have the same elevation, you cannot set your camp down. So you have to scrap your camp into parts and rebuild it, which is highly, highly irritating. Next, I have found my turrets disappearing. Yes, I've actually had this happen where I've had enemies destroy my turrets, and my turrets have disappeared. They've gone invisible and I can't fix them. I have to rebuild the entire turret over again. I have come across enemies stuck in walls and they can't be shot or killed. I have seen enemies stuck in a pose and I can just walk around and dance around them. So there are several enemies that are bugged in this game sometimes, which even makes quests hard to complete. Alright, moving on to the last part, the awful. Now, in the last part I mentioned the enemies, and I put this particular entry in the awful because this is a big problem. In this one, the enemies don't die at all. It has an HP regeneration, so you can shoot this enemy all you want and the HP will regenerate. So they're pretty much unkillable, which is worse than having it stuck in a wall or stuck in a pose. Stuck in a pose, I've still had the chance to kill them, but stuck in the wall, you cannot. So this is really broken enemies. They need to fix this. Another problem is stuck in power armor. I have thankfully not had this problem, although I haven't played in power armor too much, but there have been people that have been stuck in power armor, which is a big problem, and you run through your fusion cores and you can't get out and you can't craft things while you're in power armor, so it's a pretty big problem. The next thing on my awful list here is unplayable quests. So like I mentioned sometimes where enemies get stuck, if this enemy is stuck in an area and you need to actually kill that enemy and you can't do it, your quest will be unable to finish, which means you now have an unplayable quest and you're stuck with that quest and you can't complete the quest. And some of these quests are bugged where you can't find the enemy, or my husband's had the problem where the enemy has shown itself under the ground. So apparently it fell through the world or something goofy like that. But there are a bunch of unplayable bugged quests in this game and they need to be fixed. And finally, the biggest point in my awful category here are server crashes. Oh my gosh, the server crashes. It is absolutely unbelievable. Some days I have found that I can actually play for a couple hours, and some days I have found that I cannot. I've been teaming up with my husband sometimes, and he'll crash several times, I'll crash several times. It is absolutely ridiculous. The stability of the servers needs to be fixed for sure. It almost makes the game unplayable, especially if you have multiple crashes, and it just gets frustrating and makes you not want to play the game. Now, for my final thoughts on Fallout 76. Now, the big question, do I enjoy playing Fallout 76 in its current state? No. No, I do not. The server crashing, the bugged enemies, the unplayable quests, it really does not make this game fun at all. And I really do want to play it. I have fun playing it when things actually work, which is few and far between. And unfortunately, these bugs in this game make me not want to play it. So these bugs need to be fixed, taken care of. That way this game can be made more playable. If you do not have Fallout 76, honestly, I would suggest waiting a bit and see how many bugs they patch. There are a couple of patches coming up on December 4th and December 11th, which is supposed to address some of these issues. We'll see how many issues it addresses. I hope it addresses most of them because we really need some stability in this server and some quests patched and items patched and enemies patched and a whole bunch of things patched, honestly. So honestly, I would hold off and wait before purchasing this game. Alright, that wraps it up for this video on Fallout 76. If you have this game already, please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you do not have this game, let me know if you're going to be purchasing it or not. Also, if you would enjoy seeing Fallout 76 content, please comment below and I will start adding some content about Fallout 76 to my channel besides my consoles and retro games that I post. Alright, that wraps it up for this video. Thanks for watching and have a good one.